Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victorious Hockey Company, and the absolutely amazing Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, I'm sure somewhere else. Today's guest, once again, is Eric Ballard. Today is Friday, January 5th, 2024, and we're talking about the last day of World Juniors. That is the bronze medal game happening right now against Czechia and Finland. And later this afternoon, the United States will take on Sweden in the gold medal game. Eric, you ready for today?
You know what? I am. I'm ready, but I'm bummed out that it's the last day.
This is kind of fun, right? We've been doing this 2 years in a row. It's been good. I can't believe this show's been running for more than 2 years already. Is that right? A year and a half? Yeah, a year and a half now. So pretty crazy.
Crazy. You haven't been canceled yet.
Well, because, I don't know why. Is it Glenn, the guy's name? Yeah, I don't know why Glenn hasn't canceled me yet. I said a bad word yesterday. He didn't even say nothing. The wife didn't catch it, so I'm still safe. We'll be all right.
Well, maybe you'll become the Howard Stern of hockey.
I really doubt that. I think the BS Boys or one of those other groups might have taken that over. Those tier 3 superstars. Huh. What was that group called? The other show that was out of Minnesota for a while.
Tea with Miss McGill.
That was that a show?
Yeah, they're still up and running though.
Wow. Great news. All right, let's get into it. Yesterday, United States 3, Finland 2. Cutter Gauthier scored a power play goal in the third period, and the United States advanced to the gold medal game for the second time in 4 years. Gauthier scored the second goal of the tournament on a shot from the right face-off circle at 16:47 of the third period. Eric?
Yeah, when I turned the game on, finally got back to the house, U.S. was down 2-0, and I was actually surprised. Then they really stormed back and got two really nice ones to tie it up, and then Gauthier's goal was just absolutely disgusting. Short side, top shelf, and just propelled U.S. 3-2, and then they hung on. It was a great game, though.
It brought up some concerns for me about the Americans. They've been giving up goals probably more than they should be, right? They should be better defensively. And we talked about it yesterday about them being a little grittier than the other teams. Well, yesterday, Finland came out and was the more hungry team. They were the grittier team, especially in the first period. They certainly smoked the Americans in that first period. The United States does not have that luxury today. If they get into a hole with Sweden, I believe they're going to stay in it, and they're going to lose this game. They have to be focused in all three periods.
Yeah, I think the U.S., we've talked about it on the show, and we've known it for our entire career. But, U.S. has had a really good, preliminary rounds and into the quarters. They've outscored their opponents by a large margin. So, they might have taken the first period to not maybe respect Finland as much, but Finland came out loaded, and they went after it. In that first period, it was all Finland, and but U.S. they're really resilient. Again, they got a ton of depth, and they answered the call. They answered back. They didn't get rattled. They bended a little bit, but they didn't break, and the result was 3 unanswered goals.
Very good. We'll talk more about that game in a moment. Let's look at Sweden's 5-2 win over Czechia yesterday. I'm going to blow this name for sure. Jonathan Lekkerimäki scored 2 goals in the third period, and Sweden advanced to the gold medal game for the first time in 6 years. That was an impressive showing yesterday by Sweden.
Yeah, I think they – obviously they're good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything negative, and I have a lot of Swedish friends. But they played a little uninspired during the tournament at times. And they showed up when it mattered yesterday. That was an absolute one-sided affair, a little bit of a drubbing. when you get to the Final Four. And they look like a team that's gonna. I mean, there's no question they could pull off today's win if they show up as well. But that was an impressive game yesterday. I was really enjoyed that showing for Sweden.
Up until yesterday, Eric and I have picked the exact same winners. Despite picking in different directions for yesterday's game, we exited the day equal with 19. I can't be right. 19-8 records, I guess it is. Interestingly enough, for today, we both picked the Americans over the Swedes, but went into different directions for the bronze medal game. So let's get into the Czechia versus Finland as the game is just getting started now. Why are you so confident the Czechs are going to do something in this game?
I think they're due. They've had a really good tournament. I think the Finns are a little emotionally, spent. They had a tight game. They were up 2-0 on the Americans, and they weren't able to close out the game. So I think if Czechia starts out like I think they will, they're going to take the Finns down early, and I think the Finns are just going to struggle to get back in. Not to mention, I think I told you before we jumped on the show, Thomas gave me your picks before I chose, and I'm not going another 12 months with a tie. It's like kissing your sister. So either I'm going to be a winner today or I'm going to be a loser.
That's all right. I felt yesterday that Finland was playing more inspired hockey than the Czechs were, for sure. They were in it and battling through all three periods, even until the end. And for that reason, and probably that reason alone, I picked Finland over Czechia. I think Czechia kind of gave up in the third period yesterday, but they probably shouldn't have. I have a lot of friends in Finland, and I don't have any friends in Czech that I know of. Probably have some, but not very many. But the Finnish folks are certainly on the website continuously, and I probably took the Finns out of worry that I would be cursed or something by those guys because they're on the site every day. So that's why Finland is going to win this game at 9:00.
Yeah, I think they're both good picks. You get to the Final Four, it could be anybody's game. I'm banking on the fact that Czechs are they're hungry, they're ready to play today, and the Finns are a little disappointed that they're not in the gold medal game. So I definitely took Czechia, and again, I told you yesterday, I'm a little partial to the Czechs just because of a good friend, his junior buddy is coaching the team. So not that he's on social media at all, but at least there's record that I chose him.
So
maybe on his behalf.
When you guys meet up for lunch, what kind of Czech food do you get? Does he feed you anything from there, or are you guys going all American?
No, he's all American. I usually don't. We usually don't go out. I usually go over to his place, and he gives me the world famous coffee. He's got some special coffee from the Czech Republic that he makes, and it's impressive. So I get that about once a week or once every couple of weeks when he's in town. But no food, just really good Czech coffee.
When you are here in a few weeks for the junior council meetings, we are going to go to a coffee place that you have to pretty much stir your coffee with a fork. It's good stuff.
Good. Well, I was going to ask you, did Tommy go out and get you some nice coffee yesterday or what?
Well, no, Tommy didn't do it. Mom, of course, Sonia sings every Friday morning or Thursday morning, right? Thursday morning. So she had to stop at the store and bring back the Colombian Gold.
No tea for you today, buddy.
No tea today. I got the good stuff. All right, the grand finale. The United States versus the host Sweden starts at 1:30 p.m. Eastern today. How do you feel about the Americans' chances?
You know what? It's going to be a great game. I think, obviously, I'm going to take the U.S. team over Sweden. I think they're primed and ready. Sweden's they're playing a little better hockey right now. Yesterday's game, I think, was, indication that they're taking it for serious now. It's in Gothenburg. The building's going to be packed. The atmosphere is going to be 100% loaded for the Swedes. But I've got the Americans over the Swedes. It's going to be a tight game. And I think it's going to be an awesome game to watch. So if you're contemplating about watching, you need to get online and watch it. Get on NHL Network and watch the game because it's going to be a barn burner.
Absolutely. I was a little concerned yesterday with some of the officiating, especially in the third period. in the U.S. Finland game when they let everything go the first two periods. But then in the third, we saw some questionable calls. They went both ways, power plays for both the Americans and the Finns. But it seemed like you let everything go for the first two periods and you get tight in the third. It's confusing for the players and for the benches. And hopefully today we get some consistent officiating and it doesn't turn into a one-sided affair.
Yeah, I think those players are going to play a certain way, and they're going to push the envelope based on how much the referees are going to allow and let go. And I do agree with you. In the third period, they made two calls, both for the Americans and for the Finns, that both questionable calls. And, if you listen to Dave Starman, the one on the Finn, that was definitely, he wasn't in approval of that at all. But I do believe that you're right. They kind of switched things up a little bit in the third period and made a couple questionable calls. So that's a long tournament for those referees too. So I think they do a good job to try to keep the countrymen away from the games that are they're refereeing or officiating that they have their country and their teams from. So hopefully they'll have their best four. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Watching the beginning of the Finland-Czech game now, boy, the Czechs are certainly buzzing here early on. It's been offensive back and forth, been fun to watch so far in the first few minutes. Well, Eric, it all ends today. U.S., I think, are going to win this game. We're going to watch that for sure. And we'll talk to you on Monday a little bit and see how the weekend goes and gloat a little bit. You want to come back on Monday's show to go over this a little bit?
Absolutely. I'm hoping I'll come back as the winner for the next 12 months, and I can just rub it in your face each time.
I don't know if I can do that. I have a big ego. So, all right. Excellent. Folks, until Monday, hope that you have a great coffee and day in hockey. There you go. I screwed it up again, Tommy.
Go USA.